we're live. Okay, everybody. Just gonna find the stream on our system here. And then we will go for a walk. Says we're live. There we go. Found it. Okay, so give me just a moment. I'm just packing up my stuff and we will go a walking. Hey Tammy. Good morning, Rochelle. Trying to just get things in pockets that aren't easily accessible. There we go. And then hope that nothing falls out. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to pull up your comments and we will be ready to go. Okay, so if you haven't joined us before, my name is GiftShop Andy. I'm going to be giving you all a tour of Big Cat Rescue here. So as we go along, if there are any issues with the stream feed or anything like that, everybody go ahead and post up and I'll make some adjustments if I can. If not, just sit back, relax, and let's hear some story of the cats. So I think today we're going to start off with the smaller cats and then we'll go to the bigger cats. So let's go this direction. Good morning, everybody. All right, so if you've never been with us, this is our Saturday morning tour where I play our recorded audio of the cats. So many of you that haven't heard of them or heard their stories can get caught up on where these guys come from. All right. And of course the iPad wants to update, and so let's go ahead and see what we have here. Couldn't find the audio on that guy. And howls. Alright, we're gonna work our way over to Serval Row, then work our way up from there over towards Nikki, across Vacation, and then down good old Tiger Row. So a little bit different today, but we're just going to make the lap backwards because the smaller cats on this tour seem to get a little less time. So we're gonna change that today. And our fundraiser for today is medical care for the cats. So all that money goes directly to our state-of-the-art medical facility that we have here on site, which helps take care of our cats. If you have any questions about that, please post on up. There's quite a few people in here that can answer a few of your questions. Just popping in a headphone real quick. There we go. All right, so who is around? Oh, well, there's Biscuit. I don't know if anybody can see Nabisco. He is laying on his platform right in front of us. So I'm gonna find his audio here.
The male bobcat Nabisco is the youngest and smallest of the 6 cats rescued from Spirit of the Hills, a sanctuary in South Dakota that had their USDA license revoked due to poor conditions there. Nabisco was born in May 2016 and arrived at Big Cat Rescue in October of the same year when he was only about 6 months old. In late June 2016, lightning started a forest fire a few miles from Spirit of the Hills. The fire raged for 10 days, burning over 2,500 acres. Nabisco was found during the fire and brought to Spirit of the Hills. He was introduced to our Florida bobcat, Mrs. Claus, in December 2016, and they quickly became best of friends.
And so there is the audio on Nabisco. I don't know if my headphones won't work today, but that is what it is. All right, for some reason you guys can't hear me. Just let me know if you can't hear me, or if the video gets weird, let me know that too. I'll try my best to point out where the cats are, because with the camera I'm using, I can't zoom in, but you can at least see what Big Cat Rescue looks like. So if you are new to this stream, this is our walking path. This is the tour we would basically give somebody that would come on in and pay for our day tour. So we'd walk right along this path. We'd play the audio that you are hearing right now. And let's see, there is Gilligan way back there. Let me see if I can get him in the shot a little bit here. All right, so Gilligan might actually get up and say hi to us here.
Gilligan is a male Canada lynx. Approximate date of birth, January 1st, 2007. Rescued May 5th.
And my apologies, just real quick. Gilligan is at the bottom of the rock, just on the
2013. Gilligan's age is unknown. He was purchased along with Skipper at an auction. Gilligan had the tiniest cage, measuring 5 by 7. It was also the dirtiest of all the cages. The mud floor was not mud, but feces covered with a sprinkling of straw. It appeared as though Gilligan had tried to keep much of his waste confined to one area on top of his plastic doghouse. He had perched atop the house day after day to defecate. The large pile of feces cascaded out the side of his cage. It was clear that his cage had not been cleaned in several months. Strewn about the cage were bits of meat, bones, and fur. The doghouse was too small for Gilligan to fit in, and other than a small child's play picnic table, he had nowhere to escape the weather. He was forced to sleep in the open and surrounded by filth. Because Gilligan's cage was so small, there was not enough room for big cat rescuers to enter it with nets and a crate. So using wire that they had brought, they constructed a secondary enclosure to the door, and inside placed the crate filled with soft, dry hay. Gilligan was unsure about this new crate, and despite its appeal of warmth and dryness, he refused to enter it. He was left to contemplate entering the crate on his own, while big cat rescuers moved on to try and catch Skipper. After Skipper was captured and carried to the big cat rescue trailer, Gilligan had still refused to enter the crate. With no other options, he was sedated with a blow dart. He quickly fell asleep, and Dr. Justin did a full exam. After the exam, he was gently placed in the crate and given the reversal agent for the tranquilizer. When he awoke, he was in a soft bed of hay, being loaded into the trailer for his long trip back to Tampa. Gilligan seems absolutely blissful in his new enclosure. In his first days, he constantly sniffed all around, soaking in the fresh air. He was also quite amazed with the wildlife that abounds at the sanctuary, from cardinals to lizards to squirrels. He is very observant and intently watches as they flit and scurry about.
All right, so that is the story of Gilligan. Yes, so I saw a couple questions pop up there, so if you're not familiar with this, on Saturdays, unlike last Saturday, and I have to apologize for everybody, Bridget and I had some stuff we had to take care of, so we were unable to broadcast last Saturday, and also Carole had her awesome Q&A for Dancing with Stars, so we didn't want to interrupt that. But if you're not familiar with what we're doing here, I am taking you all on the walking tour that people usually come and pay for here. Right? Now, since we are closed to the public, we want to bring everybody up to speed on the stories of the cats, so you know what these cats have been through, how they ended up here, and you can also see the incredible care that we give them. All right, so as we're going on through, let's see who else we see here. See a bunch of keepers. Let's see, we have a few red shirts, or a red shirt. We have some blue shirts up here. All right, now we're entering into what we call Silver Row. Let's see if we find anybody along the way here. It is really nice weather, and that could mean either they're all sleeping or they're all running around like crazy. Yep, and the audio, as Deb states, the audio I'm playing can be found in the Big Cat, well, in the App Store for Big Cat Rescue. We have an app with all these stories. Hi guys. It's like we're planting some grass, and I promise you, we will see some cats. Just right now they've all been fed, and now it's nap time, so we will find some as we go along here. But if you have any questions, please fire away. I did watch a little bit of Loki in the cabana. It was adorable. The lucky guy. He gets air conditioning now and many cat trees, it looks like. See a mouser. Yes, it is beautiful here. Finally, the weather is not 100 degrees, and our little, you know, what it feels like outside temperature is only about 90 right now, so it's not frying. All right, so if you take a look on the platform right here, you will see Mouser.
Mouser is a male savanna cat born in 2004. He arrived here in 2019 with 3 bobcats from a failed California facility. We are told he was used for handling by the public. This is a practice we oppose because it is not a good life for the cats and sends the wrong message to the public. What made it possible to use him in this way is that he has an unusually social personality. On the drive from California, he loved to make biscuits in view of his rescuers. He also quickly learned on the trip that stopping for gas or to change drivers meant he got treats, and he eagerly looked for them. Once here at Big Cat Rescue, we accidentally discovered that he loves to be sung to. He comes over, rubs the fence, and listens intently. It is extremely rare for a savanna cat to be so friendly. The problem with letting the public handle a cat like this is that it encourages people to buy one as a pet. In the vast majority of cases, when the cats mature at around 3 years old, they start to spray and bite and are no longer wanted.
And there is the story of Mouser. And I just looked at the donations. Wow, thank you very much. You guys are rocking it today. Clearly showing love for the cats. So if you're just joining us, the fundraiser for today, whoa, wires getting cut on everything, is for food and medical supplies for the cats. All right, and if you're not familiar with our Funcation, here is our Funcation rotation enclosure, and this thing's pretty cool. We do have audio on this, so I will play it for you because it kind of explains quite a bit about kind of the tone of Big Cat. If I can find the audio. Give me just a second. I promise I will find it here. And here is Funcation.
This large enclosure is called the Funcation enclosure, short for Fun Vacation. Thanks to the support of many generous donors, this $100,000 project was completed in early 2016. We spend an enormous amount of time and energy giving the cats mental and physical stimulation to make their lives more interesting. We call this enrichment. As part of that effort, we rotate the leopards, cougars, and smaller cats into this large enclosure for a week's vacation. Here they have a new terrain to explore, new neighbors to see, new objects to climb on, and a larger area to roam than their normal enclosures. The lions and tigers have a different vacation enclosure you will see later in the tour.
All right, so as the audio stated, and that was Howard on the audio, we rotate our cats through their enclosure through Funcation and potentially put them in another enclosure when they come on back, and this allows them some variety with their environment. And also Funcation allows them to get up to full speed and run and enjoy themselves, smell the other cats that were in there previously, find new enrichment. Alright, so now, no ways. Black cat that close? No, that is a log. It's not Jinx. Where is the Jinx? Well, fun fact, for any of you that are wondering, there is actually no such thing as a panther. Panthera is the genus, but when it comes to panther, sad to say, there is no jet black cat. Jinx does look very, very black, but when it comes down to it, if you get really close to him, he is actually a black Asian leopard. And a golden leopard and a black Asian leopard can both be born in the same litter. So, well, I guess there's a photo of Jinx. Jinx is hiding, and for any of you that don't know, we don't use our cats for entertainment. We are a sanctuary, so I'm not going to try to coax him out because I have no need to. So we're going to move along and see if we can find somebody else here. Yes, he is brownish, very dark brown, nearly black. More than likely he was very close to us when we were over there, and he was staring right at me, and I had no idea. That's just kind of how he is. So let's see, do we see a Manny? Ever since Manny got far more room, and if you haven't seen us before, we have these things called bubbles, right? So our bubbles are all attached to each other in some form or fashion, and that allows us to expand or contract a cat's enclosure for whatever needs we may have. But if you're looking at, for example, this bubble right here, it's connected to a series of other bubbles along the way. And so Manny has this bubble, another bubble over there, a walk through here, he has this bubble here, he has another one over there, another one back there. The guy's got a lot of space. And Maureen, yes, he loves his underground den. Call him dark chocolate. Yeah, I'd say he's a good dark chocolate. Many varieties of dark chocolate. Not seeing him right now, so we're gonna take a step, or we'll stop back here for the Cat Day walkabout, and maybe Bridget will see it. Now, if you don't know what the Cat Day walkabout is, every Saturday at 12:15 on our YouTube channel, we go live. And when we go live on the YouTube channel, myself and keeper Bridget take you around the sanctuary and show you, what's going on around here. And since I can't go behind the barricades because I'm not a keeper, I tend to walk around the outskirts and show you what's going on. Hi.
Morning.
Morning. Have you seen a Nikki?
Yeah, she's out in her open section.
She's out in her open section?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go see if we can find her royal lioness. Yes, Cassie, Manny has a very big space. So if I'm not catching your questions, it's because I'm trying to look at where I'm going and keeping the camera somewhat stable, so I'm glancing at it. So if you're just joining us, the fundraiser for today is medical supplies. As you all know, we have a state-of-the-art medical facility, which, we've never actually given a tour of that. But if you've watched any of our medical procedures, you know exactly what's going on. All right, so it looks like her royal lioness is in the back. I'm going to play her audio. It was quite impactful. Now you can see her on explore.org around the clock. I don't know if the camera's working right now, but and she is kind of standing up. She's right towards the back here, underneath a little palm tree.
Nikita was found when she was a year old in a crack house during a drug bust in Tennessee. She was chained to the wall with a short chain on a concrete floor, so she got no exercise and arrived here with huge swellings on her elbows that took months to heal. She was so thin that you could carry her under one arm. In addition to being underfed, she had not had a proper diet, so she had a plethora of nutritional issues to deal with as well. The authorities took her to the Nashville Zoo at Grassmere, but she had been declawed and could not live with the zoo's other lions. Big Cat Rescue agreed to take Nikita in, as well as 3 bobcats that all arrived in 2001. At age 5, she had become a tall, healthy adult lioness, but remained very lanky because she was a picky eater. That changed when our financial support grew to a point where we could afford the expensive ground meat specially designed carnivore diet we now use. Nikita loved it and filled out quickly to the 500-pound lioness you see today. When Nikita was younger, she was extremely playful and loved to roll on her back and grab her paws or try to do somersaults whenever visitors stopped by to talk with her. Now in her senior years, we still occasionally observe a slow roll onto her back for visitors.
And there you go with Nikita. Now Nikita has 2 enclosures essentially. She has her large open air section here, which you can see it doesn't have a roof, and the reason is that large cats are not very good climbers. And we've also taken precautions of building the tops at a 45-degree angle, so she definitely can't get out. But Nikita, no real risk of that. And then she also has this area over here, which is a series of bubbles all connected together. And it is quite large back through here, so she has plenty of places to hide, and even a big lion at times we have a little bit of trouble finding because she does have big concrete dens through here to make sure that she has somewhere really nice to hide that might be cool throughout the day. But we find her most of the time spending her days under the palm fronds in the large open air section. So keep moving along here. Pam Nikita is pretty awesome. All right, so the audio I'm going to play for you now is for our vacation rotation. Now I'm going to start it here because I'm going to be walking towards it. I'll point it out when we get there, but it is quite a long bit of audio. So you might as well just start it now.
In the wild, big cats would roam hundreds of miles. They are intelligent, active creatures who prefer to hunt at dusk and dawn, but who can see very well at night. They spend their days sleeping and getting ready for the darker hours when they reign supreme over all their domain. Unfortunately, most captive situations provide far too small a space for these big cats. And even worse, they are usually locked into tiny, concrete, windowless cells called night houses during the time of day when they would most like to be out roaming. The reason they're locked up at night is because zoos aren't open at night, and they want the cats to be active when paying guests are there. In most cases, there will be one large enclosure that the public sees, and then tiny jail cells where the cats spend days at a time, so that if it's their only day to be outside, they'll be active for the paying public. At Big Cat Rescue, the cats have far more space per cat than most other facilities. But even still, it's far too small in our opinion. That's why we built the 2.5-acre vacation rotation enclosure. Each of our lions and tigers can enjoy a 2-week vacation in this open air space that has a pond, a fountain, lots of dens, tunnels, platforms, and trees to enjoy. Big cats are solitary by nature, and most of our cats prefer to live alone and vacation alone. We don't force our cats to share space or fight over food. They each have well over 1,200 square feet of space to themselves in their own cat-a-tats. But then, twice a year, they get 2 weeks vacation in this huge space. We move the cats to and from vacation via above-ground tunnels around the sanctuary. The only time there are multiple cats in the cages or on vacation together is if they've been raised together and truly enjoy the company. Anywhere that you see cats living together, they are neutered or spayed to ensure that we do not breed cats for life in cages. Even this huge vacation area is still a cage, and we do not believe that wild cats belong in captivity. We do the best we can for the cats we rescue, but the best thing all of us can do is end the trade in exotic cats by never paying to see or touch cubs.
So there you go. This is our vacation rotation, and right now we have one of our Guatemala tigers out here. Kimba is out there. We'll see if we see Kimba. More than likely Kimba is napping in one of the dens. But 2.5 acres where they can run, get up to full speed. There's even a lake out there or a pond, but it's pretty big, and occasionally it goes down. So like right now you can't really see it, but man, when it rains, it fills up and the tigers will just fly right on through it. It's so cool to watch, but it allows them to go swimming. Now, one of the really cool things about Big Cat Rescue and how we perform a lot of our actions here is that we always put the cats first. So when you take a look at even how, not just, you know, the 2.5 acres that we provide them for vacation, but if you take a look at how we transport our cats, we rarely ever put our cats in transport cages. If they have to go to medical, then, you know, we will, because it's the only way to get them there. But for vacation, we have this tunnel that weaves its way through the vast majority of the sanctuary. And when it gets to a particular cat, we open up a little door that connects to it. Cat walks on through and comes right on through this tunnel, and we close it off right here, and then the cat walks right out. And this is so we don't have to frustrate them with the need for a cage. Many of them spend a lot of time inside of cages, and we don't want to put them back into that stressful situation. Now, some cats do wise up. We do have some cats that have figured out that if they just move about 10 feet outside of their enclosure and then say that they don't want to move anymore, well, we'll come on over with a bucket of food, and if they're smart, they'll move a little bit. We'll feed them. We'll move a little bit, try to coax them along a little bit more with some food, but we don't poke them with a stick or anything like that to get them moving. If it's going to take them all day to move, well, it just takes them all day to move. That is totally on them. And then we have some cats that are smart the opposite way, where they just choose to not come back from vacation and enter back into the tube or the tunnel to get to the other side. And that has happened quite a few times in the past, where cats have spent extra days out there just enjoying their time. All right, so I'm going to play the audio on Cub Petting. And the reason I'm going to play this is that we're going to go down what we call Outback over here, where Amanda's enclosure is. And this will give you some idea as to why Amanda, for example, is not on the tour and why we are so vehemently against this practice.
There are estimated to be between 5,000 and 10,000 tigers in the United States, most of them living in deplorable conditions. This is an estimate because there's no tracking of who owns them or where they are. Some are in backyards, others are used to exhibit to make money. The major cause of this large number of tigers in private hands is breeding tiger cubs to use them to make money by charging the public to pet them, take photos with them, or swim with them. Because the cubs can only be handled for a few months before they become too big, the exhibitors need a steady supply of new cubs and are constantly breeding. The cubs are of course adorable, and the exhibitors lie and tell people that this is somehow helping conservation. What the people petting the cubs do not realize is that they are contributing to a lifetime of misery for these animals. Cubs used for these photo ops and petting are ripped from their mothers at birth, which is a torment to any mammal mother and infant. There are two reasons the breeders do this. First, they want the cubs to imprint or bond to a person, not to the mother tiger. If the cubs stay with their mothers for even a few weeks, they are wilder and much more difficult to handle. Second, think about what little domestic kittens do when they are awake. They are in constant motion, testing their limbs and claws and teeth. Tiger cubs are the same. That is their natural instinct. They don't want to sit still for photos. The exhibitors spend those early weeks physically punishing the cubs when they do what comes naturally in order to make the cubs more manageable for handling. Then, when the cubs are too big to pet, There is no tracking of whether they live or where they end up. All we know is that there are thousands living in deplorable conditions. You can help by not patronizing these cub-touching exhibits and educating others about the misery this shameful exploitation causes.
And one of the ways that you can help us is by texting CATS to 52886. That's going to help us get the support that we need to help pass the Big Cat Public Safety Act. Now, back here is Amanda, and Amanda was a product of that, the cub petting industry. She absolutely hates people, as far as new people. We're finding a pattern, though, is that if you go up to her and sing, all of a sudden she doesn't become your friend, but you are now tolerable. So I guess entertainment before food is needed. And Bridget mentioned the other day that Amanda was happy enough to yell at Bridget, and Bridget took it as Amanda was lecturing her on the proper ways of providing her food. And so after Amanda was done yelling at Bridget, Bridget was able to feed Amanda, and then Amanda was somewhat happy. But here's the other side of Vacation, if you haven't seen it yet, and you can see a little tunnel section here that goes over towards Amanda's enclosure. All right, so I've been flagged down because apparently there is a white tiger out and about. Looks like Sapphire might be out saying hi to everybody here. Aria is, where is Aria? I just saw Aria. Aria is sacked out, and all you're gonna get is a paw. Yep, so there is Aria. Oh, two paws. So there is Aria right there. Now, let's see if we have. I'm gonna get on over to Sapphire because I think Sapphire is actually out, and you guys can all see her right now.
Okay, got it. See ya, bye. I'm done. Oh yeah.
We watched a movie and she renamed it Richard Parker.
That is the life.
That's a crime.
Life of Pi.
I never saw that movie.
Can I join you, Bridget? Oh. Looks like she's playing with you.
Yeah.
I feel like I've known somebody who did that once.
Go that way.
Okay.
Alright guys, thank you so much. Have fun. We don't put fun stuff away.
Will do. I'm gonna walk up.
She's over here being spicy.
There's Sapphire.
That means I have to run.
Sapphire is a female white tiger who was born approximately 2010. She arrived at Big Cat Rescue in August 2015. Her owner had received many federal law violations for improper care of the cats without consequence. But when he failed for years to comply with a very basic 2012 Ohio law that just required decent caging and registering the animals, the Ohio Department of Agriculture seized the cats and sent Sapphire and 3 other cats to us so that they would receive proper care for the rest of their lives. When you hear people say they are breeding white tigers to preserve the species, that is a lie. There is no species of white tiger. The white coat is actually a genetic defect that often carries with it other defects like poor vision. In addition, white tigers in this country all descend from one white tiger brought to this country in 1960 and are horribly inbred, resulting in more genetic flaws. Sapphire is no exception. She is severely cross-eyed, a very common defect. This causes her to sometimes attack her own back legs, likely thinking another tiger is behind her.
So there's your education in white tigers. There is no such thing as a white tiger. It's really sad. When we were giving tours, we'd have people come all the time and call her a snow tiger or something to that effect. And they're done through the rampant inbreeding, and it's just very sad to know that there's people out there that would breed and breed and breed until they get a white tiger, which is a genetic trait called leucism. And I guess one of the many problems of that is that as these breeders are trying to get these white tigers, they end up breeding and breeding and breeding, getting many orange tigers along the way, and then what happens to those orange tigers? So all right, so we're gonna see who else we see along the way here. and it looks like everybody is crazy busy. You can see Bridget, Angie, and Jeff working on something over there. It looks like today is weed eating day. I did see Johnny out here mowing Sapphire's lawn. So and you're my wife. So if you don't know who that was Keeper Bridget. Bridget is my wife. So later on today we're going to be going live at 12:15 on YouTube, dailybigcat.com, and here is Duchess, or not Duchess, Jasmine.
Jasmine is a female tiger whose age is unknown. She arrived at Big Cat Rescue in August 2015 after being confiscated by the Ohio Department of Agriculture along with 9 other big cats from an owner who failed for years to comply with a very basic 2012 Ohio Dangerous Animals law that just required decent caging and registering the animals. Big Cat Rescue volunteered to provide a permanent home for Jasmine, and 3 of the other big cats and other sanctuaries took in the remaining 6 cats. Jasmine is a happy tiger known for making unique sounds which make her keepers laugh. Like all tigers, Jasmine loves the water. She really enjoys being showered with a hose during hot afternoons at the sanctuary, and she is a star at operant conditioning.
And she likes Matt more than Nikki. All right, so there's Jasmine Tiger up and moving. She's stalking Matt. So later today on dailybigcat.com at 12:15 East Coast time, that's East Coast USA time, you'll see Bridget and Jasmine. They have a very special relationship, and more than likely you'll also see Jasmine get hosed off. So that's always fun to see. If you've never seen a tiger get watered, well, log in at 12:15 at dailybigcat.com. That'll take you directly to our YouTube channel. Hi, Jazzy girl. Okay, so we're gonna keep going. You can see some of the area where a tunnel comes on through, going out to vacation here. Right? And there's Jasmine about to enter one of her tunnels to get to another bubble. You can really see how these things come together and how they work. All right, what time do we have here? 43 after. All right, so we're gonna be ending probably in the next 7 to 10 minutes. Oh, that's Khali. There we go. Haven't been here off 1 week, and all of a sudden I'm like, who's that? All right, so here is Khali Tiger. And it looks like Khali just got out of the pool. And if you didn't know, tigers love water. So they all have pools.
Khalifa Tiger was born in a travel trailer in the year 2000, the day after her mother and a transport full of tigers, leopards, cougars, bears, and wolves were dropped off at the Augusta Conservation Education, a small sanctuary in Georgia. The founder of the organization rescued over 300 animals in the 20 years that he ran the facility, but in 2014, with his life complicated by a bitter divorce, he could no longer continue and began placing the remaining animals elsewhere. Most of the animals at Big Cat Rescue were mistreated before coming here. Khali was much luckier. She was well cared for. Most cats that arrive here quickly show signs that they're happy to be here, glad they are no longer being mistreated. Khali was different. When Khali first arrived, she was depressed. She would spend the entire day sulking atop her platform. At dinner time, she would come down to eat, but would then immediately go right back up to her perch. Perhaps she missed her former owner and former home. But a few weeks after her arrival, Khali made a complete turnaround. Now she bounces up to the keepers, chuffing all the way, plays with her toys and enrichment, and loves lounging in the tall, soft grass. Thankfully for Khali, she will never have to worry about being moved from her home again. Big Cat Rescue will provide her with a stable and loving home for the rest of her life.
And there is the story of Khali. And so Khali's story is a little bit different than most. You know, she was with somebody that seemed to know what was going on, and when she came here, Kali obviously missed her parents, and as Howard stated in the audio, Kali has made a complete turnaround, and ever since, Kali's been doing great. Yes, Claudia, this is live. I know, I'm sorry, I haven't been looking at the phone very much. Whoa, you guys are kicking butt on donations. Now, donations for today are medical supplies for the cats. So, if you'd like to pitch in a few, we'd greatly appreciate it. That helps us with our state-of-the-art medical facility. And I'll talk to Bridget and see if we can do a quick little run-through of the hospital, just kind of peek in there real quick. So, at dailybigcat.com at 12:15, you'll hopefully see that. If not, then obviously we'll get a little bit more up close to the cats because I can't go behind the barricades. Yep, we're gonna go on over to the Beach Boy and see if the Beach Boy will come out and say hi. And that noise you hear is a duck, not Beecher. And here's Simba.
Simba the Tiger was rescued from the circus in Guatemala. We believe he was born in 2010. He came to us with 2 other male tigers, Max and Kimba. At the circus, these tigers were fed chicken feet as their primary diet. This does not give them the nutrition they need. Many circus tigers are very closely related due to inbreeding, and they often suffer spinal deformities from the lack of nutrition, inadequate ability to move around, being forced into unnatural poses for circus acts, and being so inbred. These 3 tigers all have arches in their spines that we do not see in our other cats. In the circus, the full-time living space for these circus tigers was only about the size of a queen-size bed. Because it is such a cruel life, 27 countries ban circus acts that use wild cats. In the U.S., there are 7 states and 149 other localities in 39 states that have passed various restrictions or bans involving the use of wild animals in circuses. The circus was banned by law in Guatemala thanks to efforts made by Animal Defenders International. Hermanos Ponce Circus resisted turning over the animals, but ADI eventually managed to get them to relinquish their tigers. ADI cared for the tigers in a temporary facility, while Big Cat Rescue worked to obtain the import permit needed to bring 3 of them, Simba, Max, and Kimba, to their permanent home here. They finally arrived on November 25th, 2019. Of the 3 tigers, when they arrived at Big Cat Rescue, Simba proved to be the extrovert in the group. When the door of his travel crate was opened, he exited enthusiastically and headed right for one of our large cylindrical toys and started playing with it.
And so there is the story of Simba. And if you haven't seen where Simba is yet, Simba is inside of the concrete enclosure there. Formerly sleeping, but now he's just kind of giving me a very kind of inquisitive look. Like, what are you doing? I'm trying to make this out. You got some weird thing going on with your head. It's real white and shiny, and what is sticking out of it? And why do I hear some computerized audio? Ooh, Pam, good question, and I don't know. If anybody can type in the chat, are Shriner circuses still using cats? I don't think they are, but I'm not going to be, can't be positive on that. And you can see how beautiful today is. The past few days have been just gross, and I know some of you living through like Tornado Alley, down through you know, Louisiana, Alabama, are dealing with some really, really tough stuff right now. But we do hope that it gets far better out there. You know, I was talking to my boss this past week, and he's up in the Carolinas, and they were hit really hard with rain from Sally. But finally, it stopped raining here for a little bit. This is the first time we've actually seen clear skies like this in quite a few days. been kind of on, off, real hard rain. So let's see if Beecher is home. Also got to check my time here to make sure we're okay. All right. Hello, Nikki. Yep. Well, I guess we should probably get the record straight. So Stony is the stone cat. You'll meet him on today's daily walkabout, or dailybigcat.com at 12:15. Swanee is down there. And either Cassie or Nikki named this one. This is Swanda over here. Got to keep it lighter on here. All right, so if you do want to help these cats, please go ahead, grab your cell phone and text CATS to 52886 if you are a U.S. citizen. What that's going to do is going to text you back some information or a link that will take you to some information about your local representatives. It's very simple. Just say what the app tells you to say, and that helps us get the support that we need to pass the bill that we're looking to pass. And you know what? I have some audio on this, and we'll just go ahead and play it for you. And here is the audio. You know what? I'm going to go over here. Let me see everything. Beecher! Don't see Beecher right now, but doesn't mean that we're not going to see him at 12:15. Actually, I guarantee we will see Beecher at 12:15. So I'm going to go over here, and we're going to play some audio about the Big Cat Public Safety Act. So for any of you that are new, or you just haven't heard it, or you just need a little bit of a refresher on what exactly we're doing, well, here you go. And this is kind of Carole and Howard's mission in life, is to get this bill passed to protect all these cats.
Today you've heard story after story of these magnificent animals being abused or abandoned. They're estimated to be 10 to 20,000 big cats, mostly living in deplorable conditions in private hands. These animals belong in the wild, not in backyards and roadside zoos. The laws that claim to ensure a humane existence for these animals just don't work. As one example, the USDA rule for the minimum space for a tiger cage is what you see on the sign on this circus wagon. Make normal postural and social adjustments with adequate freedom of movement. With this rule language, the owner of a tiger doesn't know how big the cage has to be. And an inspector, many of whom are veterinarians and really do care about the animals, doesn't know when to cite someone for too small a cage. So almost no one ever gets cited, and tigers spend their entire lives in tiny, concrete floored prison cells. Florida does specify how big the cage has to be, and is one of the more generous state laws. In Florida, you can keep 2 500-pound tigers in a 10 by 24 foot space like this memorial plaque area, slightly bigger than a parking spot on a concrete slab. This would be like keeping your domestic cat in a 3-foot-long dog carrier for their entire life. The only way to stop this abuse is a federal ban on private ownership. It's not often in our daily lives that we get to do something that really makes a difference, but you can today. We have a federal bill that would end private ownership and the abuse of cub petting. The bill will pass if members of Congress hear that enough of their constituents care about this issue. We make it very easy to do. If you are a United States resident and you have a cell phone, please take it out now. To show your support for the Big Cat Public Safety Act and to urge your elected officials to do the same, text CATS to 52886. Message and data rates may apply. You will receive an automated response containing a link to our campaign page. Click the link and follow the prompts to make the call of the wild today before you leave the sanctuary. Our goal is to get this bill passed before the next plaque marking the death of one of the mystery cats you met today goes up on the memorial wall. This call is truly the most meaningful thing you can do to help us stop the mistreatment of these amazing animals that deserve so much better. Last, thank you very much for coming to visit us today and for supporting the cats with your tour fee. Does anyone have it before we go ahead?
I don't know if any of you could see that, but there is a very simple thing. Just text cats to 52886. And I know it broke up a little bit there towards the end. I was getting close to the gift shop. And if any of you watched this before, you know the gift shop is a reception sponge. So just texting cats to 52886 is going to help us out a whole lot. And then here is a little script for you on the back side. Hope you can read that. Okay. So let's see, make my way back over toward the vehicles, but let's see if we see a Priya cat and a Duchess. Just kind of a bonus at the end here for anybody who stuck around. It looks like most of you have. Thank you very much. All right, so see a Duchess sleeping in her enclosure. Let's see if we see Priya real quick. And if we do, awesome. If not, then we'll see you guys in just a minute. Priya. Here's the deal. All right, everybody, at 12:15, go to dailybigcat.com. So that is US East Coast time. So dailybigcat.com, and you will see Bridget and I walking around the sanctuary for Daily Big Cat Cat Day Walkabout. It's a lot of fun. Please go ahead and join us. Mark your calendars. Only about 15 minutes from now. So head on over there, and we will see you in just a little bit. Again, if any of you have any questions whatsoever, just join us there, and we'll be happy to answer any of them for you. Bridget is, I'll say, she's much more educated in the way of the cats than I am, because she's around them a bit more often. So anyways, I hope you all are having a great time. Stay safe out there, stay healthy, and join us at 12:15 Daily